Tanisha.
Hey Jay, how are you?
Doing good. I'm doing good. So
Good.
how was your night in Paris?
It was good. It was good. I didn't do anything. I'm just working. I'm working hard for the money. Hard for the money.
So what is it like not having to deal with political stress when you wake up in the morning? As soon as you wake up, you ain't gotta hear no foolishness going on with your prime minister over there. How does that feel? 'Cause-
I'm, I mean, it feels good at one point on one level, but at the same time, I still do feel American political stress. Like, because when I wake up, right? Like when I wake up is I'm five. I'm right now I'm five, but usually 6 hours ahead of you guys. Like New York time, right?
yes.
Eastern time. So I kind of like got to catch up, and I'm like, damn, it's a little stressful because I'm like, shit, all this shit broke while I was sleeping. So it's like I'm scrolling and I'm reading. So I still feel like a level of stress, but it's a different type of stress.
It's
France, they
not,
ain't doing nothing. They I don't have to worry about them.
but it doesn't really affect you the way it affects us, though.
You're right. It does not affect me the way you're right. It does not. Being the fact that my family are still there, my kids, my mom, my brothers and sisters, my family, I still do feel a level of stress for them. It's like
Yes.
because they're stressed, then I, in a way, you know what I'm saying? I can't get away from it.
No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
So what is it like? I'm always doing something right. So what is it like to see all of this from your perspective right now? What we're going through, like how does that kind of just play into your emotion, like um, that you're not here and your kids are here though.
Right. On one level, it makes me want, to like get your asses over here or go somewhere else. Even if you don't want to go over here, just go somewhere else. But I mean, they're adults and I can't do that, right?
Right.
Um, it makes me, on one level, I'm still looking at all the American news sources, right? I look at French news to practice my language. The news is totally different. The focus is totally different, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm still consuming all of the same like American content. When we're getting ready for this show, today in Black America, when I'm doing some of my own stuff, I'm still consuming news. I'm still on Facebook looking at the same things y'all looking at. So, it does affect me from that level.
Now, I for one am a fan of your YouTube channel, and I know we talking like we don't. This is our first time, but I'm just saying that like I like following what you be posting, and I be trolling
Oh,
you sometimes.
thank you.
I be trolling your ass sometimes. You be probably like, man, would you stop?
You be giving me a hard time. See, giving me a hard time.
Because it's
No.
out of love. Because they be like, yo, you got to do. You know how I push you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, of course.
Yeah. So, but let's move forward to our show, man. We got a lot to cover. Um,
Okay.
I'm sure they could see by the headlines that we got going on here that
Mhm.
it's quite a show. It's quite a
Right.
show. So we're gonna start out with these people who's supposed to be in a position of trust, and let's just say they are on the R. Kelly tip. Down low, down low. Now let me
Mhm.
stop. They like playing with little kids. So let's call
Mhm.
them out for what they are: nasty, perverted, need to be castrated um, individuals. So we're going to start with this MAGA Republican in Minnesota that says it is a mental illness to talk about Donald Trump. Like we have a mental derangement talking about Donald Trump. So you know where his loyalties lies, right? He is
Yeah.
he's MAGA to the
Mhm.
fullest. Let's get to this crazy person real fast. Let's see. Let's go. Let's play. Let's play.
New tonight, Senate Republicans say they will now try to force State Senator Justin Eichhorn out of office. This comes just hours after federal prosecutors charged him after his arrest in an undercover child sex sting.
The FBI says Eichhorn tried to pay a 17-year-old girl for sex, and Fox 9's Mike Manzoni went through the newly released court documents today. Mike, investigators say that Eichhorn thought it was okay to meet up with what he thought was an underage girl.
And Kelsey and Randy, that 17-year-old girl was actually an undercover Bloomington police detective. Investigators say Eichhorn looked up the age of consent, which is 16 here in Minnesota, and then moved forward with trying to have sex with the girl. But trying to pay a child for sex is its own crime, and that is where he ran into some trouble. This is Eichhorn's mugshot taken when they booked him into the Hennepin County Jail last night. Investigators say the 40-year-old Republican lawmaker talked with an undercover detective who posed as a 17-year-old girl over the course of several days. It all started when police posted bogus sex ads online. Say Eichhorn arranged to meet with a detective who he thought was that girl on Normandale Boulevard in Bloomington on Monday, and that is when they arrested him. Court records show what investigators say is a text exchange between Eichhorn and the undercover officer. You see it here. In one exchange, the officer wrote, "I don't turn 18 till December." They say Eichhorn replied, "It says age of consent is 16. Over 18 is in a position of authority over you like a teacher or friend's parent." And earlier today, Governor Tim Walz briefly addressed Eichhorn's arrest when he spoke during a news conference, and here is some of what he had to say.
I don't think Senator Eichhorn cares much what I say, but yes, I think he should resign. I see Republican leadership came right out and asked the senator to resign as those charges are happening. I've stayed consistent on that when these things have happened. I think when you're in a position of elected office, the bar is higher from you.
And since Eichhorn now faces a federal charge, prosecutors in Hennepin County are dropping their case against him. Senate Republicans say they plan to file that motion to kick him out of office sometime in the morning. In the newsroom tonight, Mike Manzoni, Fox 9.
Meantime, in northern...
Now, you know, if that was a Democrat, they would went instantly for the kill.
Right. Right.
That news reporting was a few days ago. Let's give it about 5 days ago, because as soon as he said that it's a mental deranged illness to talk about Trump or Trump obsession, it should be like a mental illness, right? He gets arrested for this child solicitation, and then he tries to convince the so-called underage teenager that it's okay to have sex with me at 16. So he obviously he's done this before.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He's done it before. Absolutely. Lock him up. Lock him up. Let's go. We didn't talk about this. I know I remember when it happened last week, and we were doing a lot of topics and we didn't talk about this one, but lock their asses up. I don't have any for child predators, all of that. No sympathy at all. Lock them up.
None. And now, I will give him this. If she was 18, yes. But the fact that she is 16, nah.
What I do have a question though. What is, even though, I mean, there's legally and there's morally, right? So
correct.
What is the age of consent in that in Minnesota?
They said it was 16.
It's 16?
Yes.
So I guess my question would be, how is it? So she's 16. The age of consent is 16. Technically, it's not a crime, right?
Technically, but because he tried to pay for it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's what they're getting him on. Okay,
that's what they got him on. That's what they got him on.
Okay,
that's basically sex trafficking.
Yeah. Okay. See, I thought they were going to say it was two consensual adults. No money. You know what I'm trying to say? Like no money exchanges hands, kind of a thing. Okay. Yes. I mean, and she's a like you said, she's 16 at the age of consent, but she's clearly a girl, and he needs to bounce.
His ounce, because you know what he did? You fucked around. Time to find out.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So now we got another one that we're going to play. I want to make sure I bring up the right footage. Let me see here.
Charges of enticing a child. Amorous.
Okay.
Tonight, Senate Republicans say they will now try to force State Senator Justin Eichhorn out of office. This comes just hours
Oops.
after federal.
Sorry.
Same
Sorry.
one.
Sad.
Custody by the Panola County. Well, a former Mississippi police officer has been arrested on charges of enticing a child. Amaris Howard was taken into custody by the Panola County Sheriff's Office. Howard was certified a few weeks ago as an officer with the Sardis Police Department. Investigators say he is charged with 3 counts of enticement of a child. Both the Sheriff's Office and Sardis Police would not comment on the investigation.
Yeah. So
Yeah. A person in a position of authority is extremely, you know what I'm trying to say? It's even
Yes.
worse. I mean, you hate to judge or have levels in this, right? But a police officer, we know it's probably a lot of other victims who have not been caught, right? You know, who have not came forward because of who he is. So you know,
Can we look at this dude again? Can we look at this dude one more time?
Yeah, I looked at him kind of like I think he might be missing a few chromosomes.
I don't think he's missing chromosomes. He just ugly than a motherfucker.
I don't know. He might be. He might. I don't mean to offend nobody. But he
Mississippi
might be
police
a
officer has been. Former Mississippi
that.
police officer has
Forget
been
that.
arrested on
His ass
charges
is
of
ugly.
enticing a child. Amaris Howard was
Oh God. Oh no.
Yo.
I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know. Listen, I don't know what's going on with him. I think he might have gotten. I don't know what's going on with him. I shouldn't say what I was gonna say. I don't know what's going on with him, but that should not have affected his behavior. Of what this. But yeah, I can't even talk. I'm gonna shut up now. I'm going to shut up.
Hold on. This is why I pulled him up, and I wish I knew the actual. Let's see here. No, not him. It's a real popular one, and you're gonna be like, oh my god.
You always find the best stuff quickly. Like you always find the best. I'm like, where do you get this from?
All right. Hold on one sec. You be like, Google, man. Google is my best friend.
I know, but it's like that time that you think of it and then you like find it while we're actually talking. And I'm just like,
I just
it's
have
in a
good
file
recall.
somewhere waiting,
I guess you could say I have good recall.
You do. You really do. You really
Yes.
do.
Because when I looked at him, and I should have first pulled it up, but I was like, nah. But I was like, yeah.
He kind of looks like
Guys, I'm sorry it's taking so long, but I promise you, when I find this shit,
He
y'all
kind
gonna,
of
huh?
he kind of looks like what's his name, Quasimodo a little bit, and I hate to say that.
No, I'm telling you, this is about to be spot on. I just gotta find. Yeah, got it. Let me see here. Can we put up both?
That's a good question. You probably, I don't know. Can you do both?
Let's see.
We gonna find out.
We're gonna find out. Okay, so
It's just, yeah. I mean, like I said, police officer. I'm trying to figure. Yeah, it's just position of power. It's insane. People abuse their power.
yes. Damn.
And I'm not trying to take anything away from the victim. I know we are clowning dude, right? I don't want to take anything away from the person who he
Yes.
the victim, but yeah, it's a bit insane.
No, definitely not. No, definitely not.
Yeah.
The best I can do to present this, guys, the best I can do to present this is this. Let me do a screen share because it won't let me just pull them up full mass. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
this is who Buddy looks like.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's who he looks like. So let's go back. Let's bring him back.
Taken into custody by the Panola.
Oh my God. He's going to get clowned. He's going to get in jail. If he is convicted and goes to jail, he is going.
He's in jail already.
Is he in jail already? But if he's convicted, it's going to be real bad. Because he's a police officer, so they have to give them some level of. He's not in general pop, right?
No, he won't be.
So I'm just saying, if he is convicted of this crime, it's gonna be bad for him.
Y'all want me to play it one more time? Let's look at it one more time.
I don't know.
Let's look at it one more.
It sounds like there's some special needs, differently abled here going on. based on the appearance.
Because this thing will not let me share it. I was like, okay, come on. Bam. There he goes. One more time.
See, I'm going straight to hell, but for me looking at this man and this person. And you going right along with me.
Sheriff's Office. Howard was certified.
You going right along with me.
I'm gonna just speak to the Most High and say, "You made me this way."
I know, right? I'm like, no, he didn't bring me along with him, right? I'm trying to do right.
I was like, I'll tell him, spare her, because you made me this way.
Right.
It's just, it's not her fault.
I'm trying to do right. I'm trying to live right. I get temptation.
We got to find humor in, even though this man is a sick individual, just had to find the humor somewhere because this world is sick and we just can't be on level 10 all the time. That shit is stressful. Yeah. Trust me, I go through it my day-to-day sometimes. I'll be like 50 different things and I'm just like, yo, this is my relief.
Right. Man, that picture is like, it's E.T. It's E.T. come home. Okay, E.T. phone home, right? E.T.
Don't let me pull up E.T.
Oh, Lord. See, I
didn't think about E.T.
I just said I was trying to get it. See, I stray further and further from the truth. See?
Let's see here. E.T.
I know that man was teased in school. He had to be.
E.T. looked better than him. I'm sorry, E.T. looked better than him.
Oh my God.
Let's see here. Y'all tell us in the comments, y'all. Tell us in the comments. Let's see.
Oh my God.
E.T. looks better than him.
Oh. But the eyes are the same though. The eyes.
I think the one I got from Star Wars was spot on.
I mean, it was. Don't get me wrong. You're right. I'm not saying you're not right. I'm just saying this is a close second, right? Close second.
That's his cousin.
You're right. Yeah. Like I said,
so let's send E.T. home. E.T. go home.
Okay, I going to hell with gasoline draws. Okay, I'm go straight to hell.
All right, so let's get to the next part. Now, you had reported on some news about Sherri Shepherd going in on an unnamed actress, right?
Right.
So I came across some tea for you. Usually I don't go into the gossip columns, but
okay.
But I came across some tea and
news. I'm Symphony Thompson. On Monday, Sherri Shepherd would address her daytime talk show audience with a story involving who she called an unnamed celebrity. According to Shepherd, as she was attending Othello on Broadway starring Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal, the unnamed celebrity grabbed Shepherd on the red carpet, forcibly turned her around and said, "You've been shading me." According to Shepherd, when she denied the claims, the unnamed celebrity then walked off. Of course, since Shepherd recounted the incident, many social media users immediately wanted to know who she was referring to. Well, according to Page 6, a source would tell the platform that Nia Long was allegedly the celebrity in question, who was present that same night. On her daytime talk show, Shepherd would say the moment caught her off guard and made her upset because she doesn't shade many people. She would continue, "I would say to unnamed celebrity, because you think I shaded you, which means you watch my show, I don't know who you think I am. I think you get me confused with somebody. one of the bloggers or influencers, because I know I didn't shade you. Matter of fact, when something scandalous came up about you, I was on your side when it happened. So I would say to unnamed celebrity, because we've known each other for a long time, come sit on my couch so we can talk about it. And you know who you are. Well, it looks like Long remains unbothered by the recent controversy, as she would post a photo of herself with the caption, "About last night," which seems to be a subliminal referencing what Shepard was talking about, as she shared a picture of the playbill from that night via her Instagram story. Her caption, "Bravo," assuming she's referencing the performances by Washington and Gyllenhaal. In addition, Long would also share the headline of the Deadline article shared by actress Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay, so there's a lot of he say, she say.
It is.
So the only liable thing I could think about is Sherri Shepherd's who's she calling out? She knows who she calling out. There's speculation that she's calling out Nia Long. The only what she said.
Only those two know, right?
Yes.
Or
So
whoever the person supposedly
controversy.
Right.
Only controversy I know about Nia Long was her and her then fiance or her boo thing, coach. For what's his damn name? Imi Udoka. Imi Udoka, right? Whatever his name is. He's in Houston now, and he was with the Boston Celtics. That's her baby daddy. That's the only controversy I know of with Nia Long, involves Nia Long, outside of her and her sister having a strange relationship, which is some more. So I'm like, okay, but there was nothing. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say there was nothing really that was outstanding for you to say, well, I was on your side. Like, of course you're going to be on her side because she was the one that was done wrong publicly. She was publicly humiliated from that situation. So
you're saying Sherri, right?
No, Nia Long, but Sherri herself had a public humiliation that happened to her.
Right. I don't know. You know, it's one of those things. I'm like, listen, let us out the group chat. I don't know if it was Nia or not. It seems like it may have been. I don't know if it was somebody else. I don't know. You know, Sherri's in the gossip business. You know, her show is a gossip component to it. It's like, don't take shit personally. Why? What you say on, that's my job, right? That's my job. Okay. That's where I get my money from. But what you don't do is you don't, you know, go up and touch another woman. Like, you keep your hands off. I will say the streets, I don't know how true it is, but the streets say that although she has Nia Long has a very professional and sweet persona, that in real life, the tea is that she may not be like her public persona. That's all I'll say. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is what she did, though, is definitely some mean girl stuff. Because why wouldn't you just have a conversation with her, woman to woman? Have a conversation. Like, I get that. Like, I guess she tried to have one, but you don't put your hands on another woman. It's the way she did it. If you're gonna pull up.
I think that she might have been like, "Hey, girl," like, and it was taken the wrong way. Sherri is at a status that she's no longer where she was when she was Jamie Foxx show on the View and things like. Her status is a little bit more higher, to where it's kind of like, "Hey, don't touch me like that," versus like, you know how you try to grab somebody's attention, probably spin them around, and maybe she's at the point where she's like, "I don't want people touching me like that." No matter who you are.
Yeah, but if I came up to you and spun you around,
spin me around.
Huh?
Spin me around. Come on, spin me around.
I know I could not spin you around, right? I'm just saying, just hypothetically, if I could come up to you and spin you around, it's just like both of these women are small women. We're probably around the same height. I'm not gonna come up to no other woman and do that. Like, I'm not, unless I plan to do something else. You are already tackling a difficult subject.
But if y'all supposed to be quote unquote. But if y'all, okay, what is the chances of them being friends or somewhat acquaintances? Because more likely they're acquaintances, right?
Exactly.
And they need each other.
No, one person needs each other more than the other.
No, because Nia Long still get roles.
She still gets roles, but when she's publicizing her roles, Sherri's show is still one that she would theoretically need to go on.
If Sherri need her for the content. They
No,
need each
I'm saying Nia needs her more than Sherry needs her.
Oh, Sherry content. She could talk about stuff because she's a comedian, so she could throw things in there that would enlighten her show. But at the end of the day, it becomes redundant when you keep saying the same thing over and over. But when you add new content, like Nia Long coming onto the show, when you add like Tyrese coming onto the show to promote a movie, those are things that gives the audience different interactions. Sherry needs Nia like Nia needs Sherry. Let's not twist that up, because at the end of the day, that show, just like we need content, she needs content.
I get that, but what I'm saying is, you said one key word: promotion. You said, because Sherry can honestly go on to the next black actress or go on to the next other person.
But let's not have.
She doesn't need Nia. Nia hasn't been in anything in a minute. Let's be honest.
Shit, to you, to me,
What is
she everything.
No, I understand that. I know you got your crush on her, but I'm saying like new stuff. Like, what was the last thing that Nia really did that I can remember was the thing with Jeezy, that interview. That was a couple years ago. Nia, unless she's working on some stuff that I don't know about, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Nia Long did a whole movie where she was kidnapped with Rain, whatever that girl name is.
How long ago was that?
A couple of years ago. She still does.
A couple years ago.
Exactly. I mean, like Hollywood actresses, when they get older, they get lesser roles, right? But she's still working. She's still a working actress. Sherry works Monday through Friday doing her show. They still need, what I'm saying is they still need each other. They are still professionals. If Nia Long has a more of a realist attitude, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm from the streets type of attitude, don't let this movie thing fool you, get you twisted up. And if Sherry's attitude is more like, oh girl, I put on all the time, then yes, they're going to clash. You can't put on all the time. You cannot. I met a couple of celebrities and they don't put on all the time.
I get that. Ultimately, you know what I hate? I hate this. These are two black women feuding in the public. That's what I ultimately hate. No matter who was right or wrong, no matter who needs who more, no matter if they both need each other, ultimately there are two black women in Hollywood, which we know there are not a whole lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And this public feud, it just always, I hate how we're pitted against each other. So I will say this, Sherry spilled the tea now, right? She knows her platform is bigger than Nia's.
Correct.
Her platform is. So, I mean,
right now, if Nia Long decided to do a podcast, right? If she decided to do a podcast, if she decided to do anything, Nia Long name goes a long way. She can do it. But that's not her tea. She's an actress. Sherry's a comedian that tried to go into acting. And just like all comedians, having a talk show is your biggest thing, one of your biggest accomplishments, because it allows you to reach more of a bigger audience, right? Imagine Kevin Hart doing a talk show. And he did. He has his podcast.
Did. Right? Radio. Kevin's radio, right? You look at D.O.
Heart to Heart. He has that Heart to Heart podcast. Yeah,
right.
So,
Steve. Yep.
So for comedians, that's like you hit the big time. Actresses, when they're established, that's small time to them because they're working so hard, they're grinding hard every day to make 1 or 2 millions. When the actress is like, I could do 3 movies and just be done with it, and I'll get my 1 or 2 million. So an actress, their mentality, I would say, or actor's mentality is going to be a little bit different when they've been in the industry for so long versus somebody who just now breaking through, just now breaking these barriers, setting down the path for their legacy. It's a whole different ballgame because Sherry could be pulled off the show if her ratings slip. Nia ain't got to worry about that shit. She get paid to act.
She can, but Sherry also could go back to doing what she's been doing, comedy. Or remember, Sherry was on The View. Sherry came up, right? Sherry was on The View, and then she went from being on The View. She went from Jamie Foxx, right? Jamie Foxx show, to other roles, to being on The View, which was a come up, to now having her own show. So I get what you're saying. The money is different, but Sherry is the gatekeeper. I mean, I'm saying like she's the one who decides who goes on her show. Nia doesn't have that. She hasn't been in a role in a couple of years for a Hollywood actress, and I get she's older. and I'm not trying to disrespect her, but all I'm saying is you look at, for example, somebody like Viola Davis, Halle Berry, they stay working, right? They stay working. What's the other young lady? She's actually a little bit older than me. Forrest Whitaker's ex-wife. I can't think of her name. She's Afro-Latina. She's always working. Most, unfortunately, because of the industry, most Black actresses who are Nia's age, and we are like the same age, basically give or take, they are not working steady. They're not getting roles.
Hold on. I want to say to all the people that is currently looking and liking, thank you. Thank you. We appreciate the likes. We appreciate the views. And I just want to let y'all know I can't keep up on the comment section, but I appreciate you guys. All right. So let's move forward because we did stay on that topic too damn long. Too long. We're talking about different millionaires, like they pay our bills.
Ultimately, you're right. We are talking about two millionaires. You're right. You are right about that. You are right. We're talking about two rich Black women.
So let's get to the jackass in chief, Donald Jebediah Trump.
Okay.
Secure our elections, among numerous other aspects of this executive order. This is going to cut down on illegal immigrants on the voter rolls, ensure that the Department of Homeland Security and the data that they have available is being fully weaponized to ensure that illegal immigrants aren't voting. This will include a citizenship question on the federal voting form for the first time. This executive order instructs the EAC to cut federal funding to states that don't take reasonable steps to secure their election. This calls on the Department of Justice to vigorously prosecute election crimes, particularly in states that we don't believe are in compliance with federal law around election integrity. I could go on and on for a while, sir, but the compliance with National Election Day rules, cracking down and investigating and prosecuting foreign interference in our elections, revoking President Biden's Executive Order 14019, which essentially weaponized government to corrupt and pollute our election process. There's a lot in here, but we believe that these are very important steps that we need to be taking as an administration at your direction to ensure that our elections are as secure as they possibly can be.
Okay, you all understand that? Yes. Election fraud, you've heard the term. We'll end it, hopefully. At least this will go a long way toward ending it. There are other steps that we will be taking in the coming weeks, and we think we'll be able to end up getting fair elections.
All right, so I had to cut him off because nothing comes out of that man's mouth but pure horseshit. Okay? So what's your take on that? The guy basically says you're trying to undo what was done 200 years ago that has been working for over 200 years, and you want to come change it.
I think it's voter disenfranchisement. That's the name of the game. I think that the Republican Party is really good at doing it. I think that there are some people, especially we saw more in the last election, who are like, oh, I'm not going to vote. It's not worth me voting. If your vote did not mean anything, people would not spend millions of dollars to try to take your voting rights away. And that's a prime example. That's a prime example what we're seeing right now. I can't believe this man. He's like, oh, election fraud. Like he has no, just like 4th grade, 5th grade comprehension.
The reason why he's calling election fraud, we all know, because he tried to steal election.
Right.
And he don't want somebody coming in playing his playbook to end his political career, which it should have been over 5 years ago, to be honest with you. It should have been over.
Right.
But we keep having the same retards that keep, and I hate to use that word, but I don't mind using the word, that keep doing the same thing. Allowance. The man's head is so damn big, you can't even see past the bullshit.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to give him too much time. We already give him so much time. But yeah, this is what America's faced with. This man is trying to rewrite the election, bill and clause to fit his agenda, the MAGA agenda.
He's trying to rig the game more than what is already rigged.
Yes. But you know what? Like I said, once we can get a Democratic House and Senate, we can definitely change up the rules, change it back, get them out of here. We can get a Democratic president to undo everything that was done to get
Right.
things back to where it was. We
Right.
just gotta wait. We just gotta be patient, wait him out. And if it goes past for freaking 4 years in the terms of just his BS, then I'm out, man.
Right. You
I'm
out. So you're out, huh?
I'm out.
You out.
But I'll play the game where, still hit the polls.
Right.
What matters.
Right.
All right, let's
We
move
gotta-
on. Sorry,
we got to
go
keep fighting. We got to keep fighting. I'm sorry. We got to keep fighting. Right. In terms of like our politicians who we elected, this is when we need to lean on them to do what they need to do. Right.
Yes. So let's move on to the next one. We're going to move on to Roland Martin, speaking on the Breakfast Club.
Okay,
Supposed
Roland.
to be. So they were discussing this whole thing on the Breakfast Club, okay? And the right wing, understand the right wing has been spreading this clip around left and right. Daily Caller put this out there as well. So here's DJ Envy talking about what Jeffrey Goldberg did. And I'm like, Envy, really, bro? Come on.
If you did get those texts, right, and you know those texts weren't supposed to be to you, why would you put it out there? Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, you are a journalist, but this is your country, and releasing some of that stuff can probably or might affect some of the things that happen. Why would you put that out there? Like,
You
I
think I'm
understand.
gonna sit on that? You know how big of a story that is? That's why you put it out there.
Yeah, but this is your country, and if it could affect military, it could affect people that's out there working.
Nobody
and fighting.
cares about that because you have bylines, you want to get the clicks, you want to sensationalize, and in 2025, nobody cares about that.
All right.
I mean, I think,
We spoke on this yesterday.
We did. DJ Envy, no, because it's kind of like he purposely released it after. He didn't release it when the attacks on Yemen happened. We didn't
Correct.
find out about this until after that mission was accomplished
Completed.
or whatever. Completed. Right. Exactly. That's the right word. Completed. So he did what he was supposed to do. He can talk about it. He, as a former journalist, when somebody send you something, even if it's by mistake, you can use it. He exercised discretion and professional integrity by not talking about it when he received it. Now, after it didn't happen, hell yeah, he can talk about it. Y'all, they were careless enough to put it in the text in the group chat. I mean, what was he supposed to do? If anything, we need to be giving him definitely a round of applause, because imagine if he hadn't said anything. Imagine if he just didn't whatever. We need to expose how incompetent this administration is and how they just letting shit out the group chat. Like, y'all, they're supposed to be like, aren't they supposed to have war rooms? Isn't there a war room? Don't
Yes.
they have encrypted phones? Don't they have encrypted?
And that's what that encryption was about, Signal, because that's where they are able to communicate. It's supposed to be encrypted. You can't really encrypt without software, a cell phone, but you can encrypt and you can have secure lines, which is landlines and stuff like that, or satellite phones and things of that nature. But cell phones are harder, so they need that kind of software.
I just look at it and say, like, y'all need to be in some kind of room somewhere doing all this, because if our enemies know that, come on now, it's
Now
a
they know
matter
what
of
we use. Now they know what we use. Now they know what we use.
Exactly. They know what we use. They know the MO. And you brought up a great point yesterday, which I will talk about on TikTok on my video later today. You mentioned how it's a crime, right? When you leak sensitive information in the military, right? Didn't you say that yesterday? It's a crime. It's a crime. You can go to jail. So why are we not demanding accountability?
We are. And that leads us to the next one in the form of Representative Hakeem Jeffries. Let me find him. Sure where he at. We might have to expose how this thing go here. Where's Mr. Jeffries?
Just did an interview on Newsmax where he was asked about the possibility of reparations for people involved with January.
Nope, not yet.
Not that one. I know they better not get no reparations.
And I found that's one of the
All them ninjas is talking about that.
I know they did not.
The woman's account of how she fought.
New York. He sent a letter out yesterday to President Trump calling for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to be fired. This morning, leader, the details even more shocking as Jeffrey released in this morning a chain, a text chain that was sent to him while he was sitting in a Safeway parking lot. The Secretary of Defense using a commercial app telling people on this chain, all of whom he did not know, we're launching, again, all over a commercial this morning.
It's a stunning breach of America's national security. The lives of our servicemen and women were put into danger, and this is all being done by the person, the Secretary of Defense, who is charged with protecting the safety and national security of the American people. The problem is we could all see this coming, those who are paying close attention, as opposed to my Republican colleagues who are burying their heads in the sand. Pete Hegseth is the most unqualified person ever to lead the Department of Defense. Mitch McConnell knew it, Lisa Murkowski knew it, Susan Collins knew it, Democrats knew it, and we warned the Trump administration, and now the consequences are being felt. And this is a situation where the Trump administration is both arrogant and incompetent. That's a toxic combination, and American lives are at risk.
Chris Matthews, you have the next question.
Congressman, we all know that the Republicans echo whatever.
All right, so the Secretary of the Liquor Cabinet with his Commander-in-Chief, Donald Trump.
I'm stealing that one too. Let me write this down. Commander-in-Chief. You're giving me good gems here.
Good gems, right?
Right. All right.
Do you see that smile? Let's go back. You seen this video? Let me show this right quick, man. Let's go back real fast. Look at this.
Which?
Jesus. Right there. You see that?
Yeah.
Why are they trying to smile alike? Like they just hit a whole bottle of Jim Beam.
Oh.
Or snorted some coke. Look at his eyes. Barely open.
Look at his eyes.
Hegseth. Look at Hegseth. The second, it's barely open. That man was drunk and high, man.
Man, they need to give him a do they test for alcohol? Like, is there a way you can test for that?
Yeah, breathalyzer.
Okay. I mean, on the job, right? Like you can do a breathalyzer on the job. Yeah, they need to get a breathalyzer for old boy.
Mm-hmm.
And an AA or something.
Who smiles like this?
when before somebody getting ready to screw you over, that's who smiles like that. Right?
Say it again. Say it again.
I'm just saying, like, but Trump is looking like he getting ready to mess us over. And oh boy, looking the same way.
Yes.
Except he probably had a shot glass or 5 of Jack Daniels. I'm just saying.
The Secretary of the Liquor Cabinet, man. That's all he go for.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
So
Secretary.
because Americans did this, you fought around. Time to find out. That's what we about to find out.
Yep.
Because Americans was fucking around. All right, let's move on to the next one. I kind of pre-exposed the next topic was reparations for January 6th. Yeah, they're really thinking about that.
Let's listen.
Is there any talk of, because they lost opportunity, they lost income, any kind of compensation fund?
Well, there's talk about that. We have a lot of people talk about it. A lot of the people that are in government now talk about it because a lot of the people in government really like that group of people. They were patriots as far as I
got to shut that down. I had to shut down that bullshit.
About patriots?
Yeah, patriots. They patriotic to Trump.
You mean the insurrectionists? Who tried to overthrow the U.S. government?
Insurrectionists, traitors, the ones who need to be deported to El Salvador in their prison. Yes.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I hope they don't get not 1 cent. They need to go back to jail, add some more time to the sentences, put them back in jail. Don't pardon nobody. Why would you give them money for anything? But their boy got elected again, right? So I we were talking about this earlier before we were as we were preparing for the show. I am convinced, like what you said, that he is trying to start a civil war.
Yes.
I'm convinced of it.
Yes, because there's already an anti-Trump movement going on. Thank you to the Hussein Mawazo, Diamande Nawandahoro, and a few others for liking our video. There's already an anti-Trump movement going on where they're going to clash with this MAGA movement.
Yeah.
Fuck around and find out. Fool around and find out. You're going to find out real fast if he's talking about reparations for these January 6ers. And you can't even give your reparations to black people for slavery. Okay?
Exactly.
You fool around and find out. There's not going to be a race war. There's going to be a civil war.
Right.
So,
and I think he's encouraging that, really.
He really is. He really is. Because if MAGA comes out on top, you get the Confederate States of the United States of America.
So it's kind of like what the Civil War was. It's almost like, because some places you go to, and I know you travel a lot, so you probably have gone through places to where, especially some of the southern states, North Carolina, South Carolina, perhaps some parts in Georgia, Mississippi, Louisiana, some of these folks still act like a civil war just happened, right? Like they act like the Confederacy, like they mourn the Confederacy all these many, years later, right? Hundreds of years later. So you can only imagine, if you really give these people a reason to have a civil war, what's going to happen. Because they've been itching for this. They've been waiting.
Number one, a lot of foreigners, and I know y'all like, man, you be hard on them. They're going to leave the United States. They're going to run. They're not going to stand and fight. So that's the amount of people going. Okay. So let's get them out of the battle. Number two, a lot of vets is going to be reactivated, not through militia, not through actual activation, unless they're in what's called their inactive ready reserve time. Okay. Number three, the army will be split up, the military will be split up, because you're going to have those who are going to be on the side of right, those that's going to be on the side of wrong. Squash all of that. To squash all of that, it will take one brave general on the side of right to eliminate. When I mean by eliminate that threat, is to arrest all the generals or colonels or whoever who feels like the South should rise again.
Right.
So that will squash military involvement. Now, what will happen after that? Let's just say you have that one brave, right? That makes that right move, that right chest moves, locks all that stuff away.
Right.
The other next step would be neutralizing MAGA. How you neutralize MAGA is you take their head out of office.
Right.
So that neutralizes that. That'll be the second step. The third and final step will be the legal system. They're going to put them through court. They're going to go for the harshest punishment, but you have to alleviate this. Like I said, all the head of MAGA. That means senators, state senators, you have to get rid of all of that, because that is the cancer of the United States right now.
Right.
We were fine just having minor disagreements with Republicans and Democrats. We were fine. But we are now ignited into hostile mentalities when you have this whole Republicans, MAGA, Democrats.
Right. Right.
So it would be a huge blow to the United States, but he is really trying to where it's MAGA versus everybody. And he's going to, He's going to lose that battle because the West. I believe I would like to believe that there is someone with some common sense at the highest top in the service that could just say, "Yo, we shutting this shit down. We got it done. It's done.
Right.
It's done. It will take the military to stop it.
Right.
Because obviously civilians can't stop shit.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's move forward from the commander in chief and the secretary of the liquor cabinet and his. I got to come up with a name with Vance, but I will figure it out. His vice ass scratcher. Let's call him that. All right, let's remove him. Let's move on to the next topic. We got 2 topics where they did this. You fucked around. Time to find out. So usually in our FAFO moments, we have it where MAGA Latinos. This is a different fuck around to find out moment. Okay, this is when
Candace.
Yeah, Karen George, that woman said she was fighting using her fists. It happened here at this apartment building off of Piedmont on one of the ground floor apartments. She said she was ready to hurt that man even further, but said once she grabbed a kitchen knife, he took off.
Oh my
I
God.
opened the door. This guy is standing right here. So immediately I'm just, boom, punching him.
It was a night 28-year-old Kijana Levy won't forget. She was sleeping in her Buckhead apartment at the Optimist along Piedmont Road.
Initially, I hear someone like jiggling at the bathroom door, but then the noise goes away. Now, sometimes my neighbors upstairs can be kind of loud.
Moments later,
I hear bang at the door. I jump up, I open the door. He's standing right in front of me, butt naked.
She says the naked man had kicked in her back door. That's when Kijana says she began punching the man more than a dozen times.
He's about my height. He's like, the police, the police. So I'm like, you saying the police? I'm getting ready to call the police. Backed him up to here, backed him up, boom, boom, backed him up to here. Then I went like this, ran out, ran, and I grabbed the biggest knife I had in the kitchen.
I like her. I need to
Okay,
find-
girl. Listen, she was not playing.
She was not playing at all.
She was with the shit, with the entire shit. So I get it.
That man came in like, hey, and she like, hey.
Right. Let me. I took. Listen, that knife. I'm gonna aim in some lower places. Right. Like
Police. I'm about to call them.
Right. You gonna leave missing some appendages if you keep keep on. Right.
Yes.
Oh my God. So I want to hear a follow up on that because I want to know was dude arrested? What happened? I feel like he got lumped up. I feel like the mugshot kind of crazy.
He took off. There's a lot of mentally ill people running around in Atlanta, so ain't no telling what he was on. Probably was on some kind of drug that had him just running around butt naked like Smokey on Friday.
This is true, but he got the wrong one on the right day. Yeah,
this ain't Ray Charles. You got the right one, baby. No, you got the wrong one today.
Right.
So shout out to that sister.
Exactly. I and that's also. I mean, I know we laughing about it, but I would. Yeah, I know in Buckhead she paying a whole lot of money, right?
She paying a lot of money for peace and comfort, and she got her peace, and he didn't get no comfort.
He's lucky. He's lucky that she didn't have a pew pew, right? A pew pew.
Oh man, she had that. Ooh, she had some steel on her. It would be a different. He would have been in a body bag, an outline, chalk outline. There would have been the glass would have been broke, and she'd have been at home still chilling.
It'd have been a different type.
Some way, somehow, they would have tried to tie it like a lover's quarrel when it comes to black people. I'm sorry to be so negative, but they do. It has to be absolute no evidence that he doesn't live there for us to have this on our side.
Yeah, I mean, she could hopefully pull up her Ring camera showing this man is naked at her door. Naked, breaking in.
He came
right?
through the back door. He came through the back door.
The back door.
Yeah, so unless she has a Ring camera back there too, that's the only other way.
Right. I know she pays too much money to be dealing with that. I know that much.
Yes.
In Buckhead. I mean, it doesn't matter what you pay, but you get what I'm saying.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter, but it does matter because you're paying in an area that has a little extra police protection, a little bit of extra security guard protection. You're paying a little too much just to be, violated like that at night. So
she potentially has a lawsuit against her apartment complex because she probably can argue that they did not protect her.
I don't think so. There's
You
no
don't think
lawsuit.
so?
No, because they said her door. One of the things. Let me watch this.
Okay.
That's when she says the
Give me
naked
1
man
second.
ran back out of the patio door to her first floor apartment. Atlanta police say they responded around 11:20 Monday night. They searched, but the man was never found. She said officers told her the second patio door wasn't completely locked, making it easier for the man to get in. Kijana says she's shaken, but thankful she didn't get hurt.
I was getting ready to kill him. He just ran off before I could get the knives. I spared him this time, but there will not be a next time.
And Kijana said,
All right. So Tanisha did run off for a little second, but
I'm coming back. Here I am. I'm sorry.
Did you catch
okay.
what she said? Did you catch what she said?
I didn't catch it because I'm dealing with Teddy, him being sick. What did she say now? I'm sorry.
Teddy! Listen, but before she says this is the key part why she can't sue.
completely locked, making it easier for the man to get in. Found.
Oh.
She said officers told her the second patio door wasn't completely locked, making it easier for the man to get in.
Oh,
Says
yeah.
She's shaken, but thankful she didn't get hurt.
I was getting ready to kill him. He just ran off before I could get the knives.
Oh, she said it. I was ready to kill. And this man ran off.
She was getting ready to unalive him, send him to the upper room.
All right, let's get to the next one before we close it out. Like I said, shout out to that sister. You're a brave sister. Great reaction.
Yeah.
Yes, if you had to steal, he'll definitely not be here. And somebody been crying about Pookie, and he didn't deserve to go that way. Pookie should have been minding his damn business, keeping his naked ass on the streets. All right.
I'm glad she wasn't hurt, though. I'm glad she's not,
It could have been way worse. It could have been worse, but
it really could have been.
But the Most High was definitely on her side. Let's go to the next one.
All day in renters at a Southwest Atlanta condominium say they're being charged hundreds of dollars for water they haven't even used.
Their landlords actually reached out to Channel 2 Action News for help after noticing this pattern. Channel 2 investigative reporter Ashley Lincoln live for us now in Forest Park. Ashley, you've been trying all day to get in contact with this company. Any luck?
All day indeed, George. No luck, and I found that's one of the #1 complaints when it comes to this company. Folks simply can't get in contact with it. We decided to go on Google. We found an address listed for their office, but instead it brought us here to this postal service here in Forest Park, Georgia. We did, however, find that a utility company actually owns this shopping plaza next to this postal office, but we didn't find an actual office inside.
I can't afford $400 a month water bill at all.
For more than a year, Kevin May says he's watched his water bill go from reasonable to an unreasonable amount.
My bill was very low. It was like $30, $29.
All right, I had to stop it for time constraints. Looked like somebody's trying to scam them. And when they started taking a little, they started pushing a lot.
Who do you think it is? Do you think it's a property management company that's doing the scam?
I think it's Jaquavius and them doing it.
You think so?
Yeah, it's Jaquavius. It's Shateria. No, let's come up with a different name.
How could it happen though? Because I mean, isn't he an apartment complex? Was it an apartment? What is it?
It's a condominium. So my
condominium. I'm sorry.
Condominium. So why is there a third party company running the utility for water? Because usually you leave that to a county, right? Because I pay the county. Actually, I pay the city for my water.
It depends. A lot of times, the reason why I say it depends is because if you're like a condominium, which is usually run by HOA, or like an apartment complex, some of these places do not pay their water bills.
Or you could choose who you want to use.
Right. Some of them don't pay their water bill, so I don't know. I wonder if it's a private citizen. I doubt it.
It's somebody that got access to information because they're charging the renters.
Yeah, I mean, usually the renters pay the water bills, right?
Mm-hmm. You're responsible for all the utilities inside the house, but if the landlord has to get involved, because that means the landlord is trying to figure out what's going on with the house. Is there a leak going on? Because they're going to lose their money. If this person can't pay their rent because they got this high bill, they're going to have to move out. And then the problem just going to keep existing. They're going to lose money.
I wonder, are there other residents who have the same problems? And
there were other residents. It wasn't just that guy. There was other residents. Reason, like I said, we just, time, but we can definitely revisit the whole story tomorrow.
Let's look at it tomorrow.
All right. But it was just mainly that guy was the first interview, but there's other residents that was complaining. And when you looked at it, $33 for the water bill, then the thing just shot up to like $400.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Sorry, go ahead.
Right. No, yeah. That you have a large house. And
well, no, I have a pool. Yes.
Oh, okay. That's right. Yeah.
I have a pool. So when I had to fill up my pool, I was looking at $300 water bills. I just got tired of that shit. I was like, man, fuck that pool.
Right.
And that's a pool. My house by itself, the water bill by itself is somewhere between 50 to 60. But I don't use. I'm just throwing a guesstimate because it's included with the trash and that stuff.
Right.
So I'm just using the guesstimate. So I don't even look at a bill. I just pay the bill and that's it.
You can imagine a condo though. Like a condo is going to be a fraction of the size of your house, for example. So and they don't have a pool. So I'm just like, why is it $400? That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That means that man was outside running a damn the car detailing business or car wash. Have that kind of high ass bill. He had a hose hooked up to the kitchen sink and just out there just wash. That don't make no sense.
I wonder, is it a water leak in the building? Like, is it a water leak under the like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Somebody is scamming. It's someone is in there scamming. I'm gonna give a good detail of how greedy a person can get. So when I was in the service, payroll was done by ourselves. I'm not saying the branch. So we were done by ourselves, not ourselves, but in the service, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a senior enlisted officer, senior enlisted, non-NCO, non-commissioned officer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she used to take 5 cents.
Just a little bit.
Just a little. 5 cents out of everyone's paycheck.
Those nickels add up. Nickels add up.
They add up. We're talking about over 100,000 service members.
Oh wow, nickels really do add up. Y'all, were you paid once a month or every 2 weeks?
Twice a month. The 15th.
Twice a month.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So every pay period, this amount was adding up and it was going to an account. She stopped one time.
Mm-hmm.
One time. And it threw everything off. It threw an audit. And they found out how this happened.
She was taking nickels. Because people are not going to miss a nickel, right?
It was a small amount out of our checks that we don't even see.
Right. You're not gonna miss a nickel, most people.
No. So that goes to show you how greedy people could be. So somebody started with $10 and there's like, oh, they're gonna pay it. Let's keep going. They started with another 20. Oh, they're gonna pay it. Let's keep going.
Right.
They got greedy.
Exactly. Wow.
All right. So you got anything for our viewers today before we call off?
No, nothing from me. We will just see everybody tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I love you.
Tomorrow, stay black. Tomorrow and today. In the immortal words of this jackass. Let's play this one more time. Tanisha don't want me to play this other video. She's like, "Oh, you weight shaming." I'm like, "Heck that."
No, you can play it. I was gonna say my comments. You can play it, but I was
I can play it. I can play it.
Oh Lord. Oh,
which one? Which one?
the one when we talked, not the one we talked about, the other one where we talked about that particular subject, where we can have a commentary. You trying to play the other one? I know which one you trying to play.
Good morning.
I'm gonna be a bad boy.
Hi. How are you? How you, brother?
Guys, I'm gonna be a bad boy.
Good. Nice to meet you, kids.
It's the only seat y'all got?
What you want? What you need?
A bigger chair or something.
Is she already little? Sure. We had
This is what I'm talking about. Good. This is the accommodation.
There you go.
Oh, you said the chair was too small, so we had to bring the part of the sectional for you to sit in. And you said something. You said, now this is what I'm talking about, accommodations, right?
Yes.
But we live in a world that's not always going to be able to accommodate people that are
But we
plus
should,
size.
though. We should, because we not all the same, you know? Bigger people should be accommodated, just like we accommodate the LGBT community.
See. Now you know she's a Detroit girl. Come on now. Come on. I'm supposed to go see my mama soon. And in Detroit soon. They're gonna see this show and say, "Oh, so you was talking about our girl, huh?" Talk about our girl.
So,
Exactly.
America.
Exactly.
Decided that I'm no longer a black man,
Trying to get me in
no
trouble.
longer a person of color.
BIPOC.
None of that shit.
Bye.
What I am
Stay black.
is a non-white man. And I think we should all just start calling ourselves non-white. So, they're going to have to figure it out. But they say that shit explicitly. No DEI, no BIPOC, no references to our blackness. So we just all walk around like, I'm not a black man, I'm a non-white man. I'm a non-white woman. I'm a non-white, all of us. Asians, Latinos, black people, everybody. Call it what it is. I'm just non-white. And let them rebuke that. Let them refute it.
Are you telling me that you are not?
Yeah, I'm not a woman.
White? Oh, the deception, the betrayal, man! You deceived me.
Calm down. I'm an FBI agent. I was uncovering a
Negro, please.